truth, the news, the future. Sin!
About to start, folks.
The truth, the news, the future. Sin! The truth, the news, the future. Sin!
Right. Good evening to you, obvious listeners. Join us live right now on your news network, zimai.com. If you can hear the sound of my voice over there, do let us know where you're logging from, starting straight away here. And my name is Simba Chikanza. I promised our viewers and listeners that I would be back here today the over the Nottinghamshire police matter. I hope people can hear me. If you can hear the sound of my voice, if you're struggling, please let me know. If you can't, I would appreciate if you let me know if you are struggling with me or anything. Please let me know. Let me know. I won't take 5 minutes, but I think it's going to be important for me to make this update because people ask me, over this to make things really, really clear. One thing about what we do is we ensure that every time, whenever people inquire of any clarification, we always avail ourselves to make it. Okay, so quickly, I think I'm going to start now. Got 250 people on the stream. I think most of them are on Twitter Space video. I think it is. Okay, thank you. My name is Simba Chikanza, beaming to you live right Here in the United Kingdom, today I spent the whole day at Nottingham. You'll notice there the claims that I was asked some time ago to respond to relate to a police force called Nottinghamshire. To those who have been following, there is a certain character who made communications on social media, and then that character uh, suggested that there is a police case that was announced about, or excuse me, that was launched about Zimbachi Kanza. How many people heard that? How many people saw that? Murivangani wakainzwa, murivangani wakaiona iyo. And a lot of people asked me, Simba, you've got to respond to this. So, whenever someone is mentioned, if that person is not there, it's a different story. But if that person can be found, yeah, then we have to, if someone has been mentioned. So the name of a whole police force was invoked, and so I decided to contact the police force. First, I made multiple phone calls. I'm gonna ask here. I'm gonna drop a link so that anyone out there can. Anyone out there who wants to comment or anything, munogona kuya mondi vunza kana mine muvunzo, and you ask me, why am I doing this? Saying ndiri kudai. So here is the link to speak. Ndiri kupa ipanapa link irekuti mutaure panapa. Okay, so I'm just dropping this link here. Anyone who wants to ask me questions, those who are on video, thank you for coming in. Got over 300 people now on the stream, and I think I might as well just go ahead. Okay, so say something. Hi, Patience, Mavunga. How are you doing, Anjadzi? Muri say. Also got Ralph Dingwiza. Thank you for coming in, folks. Right. Sakanda kutangaka. So now quickly, what is happening? Nottinghamshire police settings. Now, I I saw a post, or was alerted to a post that was made by a man who nearly came under my employment at Al Jazeera Media Network. A man whose name was submitted to me for vetting, and I rejected him at Al Jazeera Media Network. I not only rejected him on my own project that I was contracted at a directorship level for several years, for nearly half a decade, but I also ensured that any future employment inside Al Jazeera Media Network would not involve someone who has got multiple identity cards, someone who is dishonest about their multiple identities, and most importantly, someone who has spent 14 years falsifying and using journalism to falsify that he was police cleared by the British Embassy in Harare. And so my role as a director for a media company, some people need to know, right? So my role as a director of a media company with directorship level contracts with several broadcasters, over 3 broadcasters, international broadcasters, for several years to date, is to ensure that the public are protected from anyone who could hurt them. And so my investigation, which wasn't really mine, it was only one that I picked on from several other investigations that have been done since around 2008, and they have been done by many senior professionals, including a leading investigative journalist called Jeffrey Nyarota. If you're a Zimbabwean, you will know who Jeffrey Nyarota is. Jeffrey Nyarota is one of the most senior professionals in the journalism industry, with a track record that goes way back to the 1970s. A man who who pioneered, who led, who edited multiple publications, including the Chronicle and then also the Daily News, the country's first independent newspaper that he steered very well for several years until it was bombed. A man whose commitment to journalism it torches the passages of time. And so I was asked by Jeffrey Nyarota to, to amplify his investigation on a man who claims, and I need people to get this tonight, a man who claims he is called Hopewell Rugoho Chingono when he is not known by that name at all. That is not even his name. And so I was asked to continue this, to amplify this investigation, an investigation that started around 2008. It was first published in newspapers in 2021, September 2021, by the AMH newspapers, the newspaper that is run by Trevor Ngube, and the newspaper that Blessed Mutlanga works for. And so that is where the first investigation is there. The investigation is titled Journalism Rarely Produces Excessive Wealth. And so I ensured that my investigation, excuse me, the my findings from Jeffrey Nyarota's investigation and numerous other professionals who I might not be able to name all of them because there's so many of them who have investigated a man who claims he's called Hopo Gohochingono. I ensured and I continue to ensure that no media company that I am connected to ever, ever, ever profiles this man as an honest journalist. Why? Because the findings are very clear. The findings are very clear that a man called Hopo Chingono is a danger, a serious danger to people's data, a serious danger to safety, people's safety. Mr. Hopo Chingono is the only journalist in Zimbabwe and perhaps in the whole world who has called for terrorists, for the army to hunt down activists and finish them off, who has advised the Ministry of Defense. There's so many things around this man that that are clear signals that he is more than a danger to members of the public. And so I'm a director of several media companies, and also I've got contracts with multiple broadcasters, and I've advised them, particularly those I'm contracted with, of their obligation to the public to protect the public, because the evidence that is too clear is that there is no person at all anywhere who is called Hopewell Rugoho Chingono. He is someone who has continued multiple identities, has crisscrossed multiple identities, and has been using journalism to falsify that he obtained a police clearance from the British Embassy. And so let me just say quickly, when I was alerted to this, I at first I decided not to respond. I said, no, let me just leave it. But I then later on decided, no, 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 let me just drop something so that people can be informed. The reason why I did that and the reason why I will always do that is to protect members of the public from being misled into crime. Because Kunevanu, there are some people who are actually being led into serious high profile crime. Last year, there were two airports in the UK, Heathrow Airport and Gatwick Airport, that were attacked through identity frauds that were inspired and called for by Mr. Hopewell Rugoho Chingono. And in at least one of them, I, through my work, managed to help a British man to recover a property worth of £1 million between the 26th of August and the 20th of October 2024. And Mr. Hopewell was behind it. So the danger there is that of a man who is using social media to, number one, disguise himself. Number two, to inspire, and sometimes to even instruct people to commit crimes of identity fraud, like what happened at Heathrow on 29 April last year, and then also happened between the 12th and the 26th of August 2024. Now, the crime is there. I mean, the evidence is there. There's footage. There's a whole documentary. People can actually watch the documentary. It's a whole 1 hour documentary. The people can watch and you can see it for yourself. Hopo Chingono is in there. His voice is in there. His face is in there. Not once. And there are people in there who are not ghosts, they're actually physical people. And one of them is an NHS expert who, Hopo Chingono, once again has utilized journalism claims to falsify that this particular expert in the NHS, the National Health Trust, was deployed by the government of Zimbabwe to a media outfit called Gambakwe Media. Now, this particular expert is someone who is signed to one of my own publications. And so, not just that, there is evidence that they never at all went to Gambakwe, as has been claimed, sent by ZANU-PF or sent by the regime to ZANU-PF. That never happened and it will never happen. Why? Because they're an expert, they're a professional, and they would never go somewhere to go and need another voice. And in actual fact, there is even there's timestamps that are clear that Grace Mufuruza never went to Gambaka. This is a woman who detailed line by line allegations that are extremely serious, including her own witness testimonial that she physically saw Hopo Ochiolo committing identity card frauds herself. She even made communications that he was truly arrested. And a lot of people don't get this. Hey, how could he have been arrested? Until you dig. And so what we do, we just look at the records. So quickly, to those people who are doubters, who thought, oh, maybe this is fake news, let's just assume all that what Grace Mufuruza said is not true. What about the Gatwick Airport and the Heathrow Airport in 2024? The evidence is very clear there that Hopo Chingono physically encouraged people to evade and to commit deportable offenses that trigger deportation. He said it himself. On his portal, if you go on his Facebook page on the 29th of April, you will see it in 29th April 2024. It is there, it is public. He is telling people to actually commit offenses that trigger deportation. And the evidence is there. You can go and see it for yourself. When a syndicate member who is called Felistus Murata, who is an ex-girlfriend of another colleague of Hopo Chingono's called KC Kudzai Sichipadza. And so the evidence is so clear that Hopo Chingono is behind it. And so my work, that is what it is. I have to protect members of the public. Now, more so from someone who brandishes multiple identities and has been using journalism for over 14 years, falsifying the British Embassy did a police clearance on him. I've checked with the British Embassy. There's never been any police clearance ever at any time that was issued to Mr. Hopo Rigochingono or anyone. The only document that he uses is a letter that he he got a political secretary to issue for him when he falsified that he had produced a documentary called, it was a is a documentary called, um the name is kind of missing me here, um Violent Response. That documentary, the footage, does he has actually stated does not belong to him. So he utilized footage that does not belong to him to falsify to a British embassy or secretary to write him a letter that ZANU PF is after him, the regime is after him. Please write me a letter that I have never been arrested or the British officials are not after me. And that is the letter that he has been utilizing to claim that he had a police clearance done on him, which is extremely misleading. Now, the copyright for that documentary is someone else's. And I have been in interviews with where Hopewell is in there with the journalist whose videos he used to falsify to the British embassy that he he owns this footage and ZANU PF is after him because of it. And so, quickly, what is happening is I, as the director, Lee, seeing the post that was made, I decided to travel to Nottingham police and confront these officers and ask them, what have they been told by a man who calls himself Hopewell Rugohochingono? But I haven't stopped there. Now I'm asking them to give me evidence that they've actually verified that there is anyone who is called Hopewell Chingono, Rugohochingono. Because they should never have even taken a phone call from someone who is fake. Because there's no one on earth who is called Hopo Rigo Chingono at all. Aguna. There is no one at all. And I have the evidence. Anyone who calls himself Hopo Rigo Chingono is a fraudster. Because there's no one who's by that name. And so that is where I am. That is where I am. And also I contacted West Yorkshire Police. And they told me there's nothing, because he was claiming that, oh, there's a police case at the West Yorkshire Police. I asked West Yorkshire Police, they've told me, and I could even play the recording here if it's necessary. But Nottingham Police have told me that there is some character, and they've confirmed there's someone who actually did called Hopo Rugo. So that is where I am. I'm now demanding now these officers to show me evidence that they actually verified that there's anyone who is called Hoporugo Chingon who exists. Because if they did that, then these officers committed a crime. Because they're not supposed to record anything by that name. Because that name is the name of a fraudster. Because there's no one on earth who's called Hoporugo Chingon at all. At all. The type of communication, the type of statement that I've made to these officers, the same thing that I made to Emerson Mnangagwa when he presented a man called calling himself Maxwell Chikumbuzo. And Mnangagwa claimed that Maxwell Chikumbuzo was once arrested because of his inventions. And Maxwell Chikumbuzo is someone who is going to fix the economy. He's doing this, he's a hero, and all sorts. Someone who's got media praises and everything. And I challenged Mnangagwa until Mnangagwa ended up deleting his posts. I told him that there's no one who is called Maxwell Chikumbuzo at all. So that's the same thing that I've made to these officers. So it's going to be a very, very long week, folks. A very, very long week. My profession works in the arena of verifications, but fact checking, particularly fact checking where a person has made, particularly with people who make statements that are inconsistent about their identities. And this is where I am. I'm not leaving here. I even told the officers I'm going to enter mu police station imomo ndotogaramo. Handisi kubva papolice pacho. Handisi kubva. Handiti mapiwa adresi. Aifunga kuti hanzi Harare. Aifunga kuti imabvuku police station. Aifunga kuti pamwebi imbare police station iyo matapi police station. Kwaunongotaura kuti Simba chikanza kune police station yekumbare kune zita rako. Manje kunoku kunoshanda. Vaifunga kuti kavanongotaura vakangoti mapurisa vanobva vangobhilivha, especially if he says British, That's the same thing that he used to say at embassy. In those days, I wish I was a bit more alert the way I am. I would have popped out, in those days when he started making these British embassy claims. Yeah. But this time, and this was a stopper. I think the time has come now to just put a closure to this menace, this fraud that is encouraging a lot of our kids kuti commit a fraud, and they think that they can get away with dishonesty. No way. No, this time, Jakachaya, I'm not stopping. And what I did on Gold Mafia, what I've done on so many other investigations over the years, this time I'm going to do 7 times. I'm going to do 7 times than what people saw on the Gold Mafia on this one. So quickly, here we are. Here we are, viewers, ministers. This is it. This is what I'm working on. And this is stopper. Anyone who doesn't like this investigation, I don't want to see you in making comments on ZimI. Unsubscribe. I don't want to see you. You are filthy. Urimbava. If you don't like this investigation, uritsotsi kana kuti unofarira zvehutsotsi, ibva pano, uri tsvina yenyika. And I'm not joking. I've spent 3 years ndichiinvestigata chinhu ichichi, and so far I've recovered more than a million pounds from Hopo Chingono and his friends. Saka handisi kustopa. Kana waifunga kuti aiwa Simba Chikanza tinongonyora macomments. Hopo mukusha. Aiwa. Hopo mukusha teerera. Mukomana. Teerera. Ingonoreurura. Kwese ingonoreurura. Fonera vakomana kuBBC yoti ndakumba natural fact usatombodaro inda police station. Uya police station yeku Nottingham izvo so tisangane. Ungoreururawo kuti aiwa sorry. Unopiwa anonzi maclemency. Munoziva anonzi maclemency. Plea. Unongona ungopleada. Ukapleada zvinoita short. But ukasaitawo ini nichangoita sei nichangoincreasa volume yangu. Nokuti handingakutendera kakuti umislead vana vezimbabwe kunyanya vana vadiki uchivaratidza whisky nedoro every day uchiclaima kuti iwewe you are very successful. Success is not in whiskey. Chikomana, success is not in whiskey or in awards. It is in character. It is in humility. Right. Woo. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. No, this is very serious, folks. I had someone who passed a comment the other time, and he said, "Look, Zimbabwe is suffering from a whole poaching on a problem." I don't know if people heard that young man. And he said, "Look, this man, he has turned the whole country to become fixated on him. It's like when you wake up in the morning, he just wants you to focus on him, as if he's the alpha and omega. Yeah, upenyu. And what is this? Ndio journalism yacho here. Someone was saying that. Why is it kuti murume uyu anoita kuvaviwa? Akaona anyone anenge achitungamira achidai, he just wants to discredit. But not just that. There's something he seems to be benefiting from distraction and disruption. And so someone said that. And so that is what we're doing right now. When people are being told, Tagwire has stolen money, hey, Wikno has stolen money, Mnangagwa is wicked. Izo tagara tichiziziva kubvira 1980. Wickedness yamnangagwa tagara tichiziziva. Iwewe sei uine mazita akasiyana. Ipapo pamazita ipapo ndo pane nyaya. Anyway, thank you very much, folks. ndiri pano panottingam hapasi kubviwa. Ndo pandiri papo. Kana paina asingazivi basa rangu, inini I'm a director of several media companies. I've got contracts at directorship level with multiple media companies. Noti zvimwe zvamunogona kunzwa zvitaura ukoko. So ndine responsibility iri very very legal yekuti ndiprotect members of the public from abuse. Ndakaona anyone anotuka vanhu anoita se achishandisa zita rekuti journalist, aiwaiwa basa rangu nderekuti ndiprotecte members of the public from vanhu vakadaro. Ndakaona anyone anogona kumisleada vana vadiki, anyone who can mislead youth, young people and the like vulnerable people into crime, my responsibility by law is to do everything that I can to discourage and stop crime. So that is where we are. And the first thing about this is disclosure. Who are you? Because you are not called Hopo Rugo Chingono. That is not your name. And that is the first question. That is Hopo Chingono, what you are required to do here. That's what I want you, not me, but the officers want you to come here at Nottingham Police, Hopo Rugo Chingono, present yourself and do an identity disclosure. We know that you want people, you like people to clap hands for you. You are award winning. You are this and that and that and that and that and that. Thank you very much. We'll clap hands for you. But first and foremost, come to Nottingham Police Station and present yourself and declare your identity, your real identity. And also from there, declare what you are about, who you are. We'll start from there. Anyway, here we are. Let's just get people to speak. And I can see there are now 600 people on video. And I'm just going to ask for people, anyone wants to ask me questions. I'm here, Nottingham Police Station, as you can see. And I'm not going to leave. I think I'm going to look for.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Amachile. I'm just in a breakout in my conference, so
Go
I
ahead,
have a question for you.
go ahead, sis.
Can you can you hear me?
Shoot. I can hear you. Thank you.
Come from here. Okay. So my question is, there was a claim that you were working with Salani, from according to Hopo's allegations there that you're working with Salani. Can you talk a little bit about that? Have you ever worked with Salani?
Okay, thank you very much.
Because that is what he claimed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. He actually didn't say I worked with. He actually said I recruited Salani. That's what he said. Just so that you know. Yes. Hopo Rugo Chingono actually, excuse me, Hopo Mukusha. Oh, yeah. Oh, Hopo Chakuti. Nemazita Gakawandisa. Right.
First of all, and after that question, also I'm confused. Are we talking about the same person? Not in Hopo or Goho?
He has got so many names. That's why he's required to come here at Nottingham Police Station and present himself. And my sports are it. So what was I saying?
And the allegation that you recruited.
I see that I recruited. I see. I'll tell you. I I don't even need to answer such a question. Number one, because Hopo Go Chingono or whatever his name is, he knows my job. He knows my job. He nearly got employed in my workplace at Al Jazeera. He knows my job. If he doesn't know my job and is now making claims that I recruit people, then he should never have come to Al Jazeera. Should never have presented himself looking for a job. No. He should never present. So, and I don't have any such. Kutindingaita recruit anyone. So the issue that was there is that Salani Muthami presented allegations, and those allegations were communications, and the allegations were consistent with they had a pattern that was similar to many other allegations that have been raised by women. And I didn't even interview her. If I had interviewed her, then someone would have accused me of. I didn't even. I just saw. and I observed. I could have, if I'd even done something or promoted her, I didn't. She made her disclosures, and the disclosures were similar to those that had been made by a lot of many respected professionals in the UK, who include an NHS expert who Hopewell has claimed that this NHS expert was sent by ZANU-PF to a media outfit called Gambakwe on 18th of August 2020. So an allegation that is untrue. And so because of that, I do not see any purpose or any reason for someone to even imagine me recruiting anyone. I don't recruit people. I don't do that. But the issue here, I don't know if I've answered you there. Ndakupindura.
Yes, yes, you've answered me, and then you touch on the issue of the accusations around throwing the accusations that people are reported as ZANU-PF. I think I personally have also faced that from Hopo, where he calls me ZANU-PF, which is really ridiculous if you ask me. So Grace Fruits again, he accuses of, and I don't know, this guy calls himself a journalist. But my claims again, because I know the way Talani, even yourself, have interacted. It is far away from being like a recruitment type of relationship. I don't believe you've ever worked with Talani, and I also do not. I'm not. Have never been ZANU-PF. So it's a lot of throwing of allegations. I'm not sure. What kind of journalism we're practicing in Zimbabwe. Really, I mean, from his end, as he calls himself a journalist, with the claim. So yeah, thank you for clarifying, Simba. I think I don't have any other question for now.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Yeah, I want to say that myself, you know what, he can say what he wants about anyone. He can accuse you, he can accuse me, he can accuse so many people of being ZANU. I am simply on one thing. Rujeko Prosperity, get one thing. Please never put my name. If you ever put my name, I'll never respect you. Never put my name with an identity fraudster. Hopewell is an identity fraudster. Period. Never. If you ever do that, I will never pick up your phone call because you're showing me that you are insulting the sacrifice that I have done for over a quarter of a century, helping the community. You're putting my name alongside someone who claims he's called Hopo Rugo Chingono and is not even that by that name. There's no one who is on earth who's called Hopo Rugo Chingono or Hopo Chingono. That's a fake name. Such a person is a fraudster. You know the person you're talking to, you know his name, his real name. You've seen his original passport, and you know what that name is. And you know with the multiple identities are many things that are not ethical, many wrongdoings that are of a serious nature, including hacking of airports in 2024 alone. So if you ever want me to to take you serious, never put my name ever with an identity fraudster. There is no one who is called. Get it right. If you can't, repeat it in your head 10 times, 20 times. There is no one on earth who is called Hopo Chingono, Hopo Rugo Chingono, or Hopo Chingono. No one. Anyone who is called Hopo Chingono is an identity fraudster. That is where the story starts and that is where the story ends. Anything else is drama and criminal drama at the same time. You've seen it. You've seen people being subjected to military deployment when that person confused the Minister of Defense and advised them to go and wipe out activists. You've seen that same person instructing people to be dishonest at airports in 2024 alone. Felicitas Murata's deportation, he was behind it, encouraging people to repeat what she did, encouraging people, literally announcing that people should execute deportable offenses. So a person is, you tell me that person is honest? Did you see the frauds? Isn't that fraud? Is that ethical? What is that? Is that what you call journalism? Aiwa ka itewo ka sana wakaenda kuchikoro ka. Abereki wenyu akakuendesai kuchikoro achitengesa mazhanje kuti mutadze kuona kuti munhu anoita izvozvi, munhu ari kutungamira vanhu kuchikora mutemo. Ndiyo unoti journalism iyo. Yeah, saka anzwisisai, I will never respect you ever if you ever do that. You follow fraudsters. You damage your own family. You make your family to access a Twitter account that is called Daddy something. And you're telling me that you're blessing your family. You're telling me that your family is going to be normal after that. Aren't you saying kuti muri kunza madhimoni mudzimba dzenyu? Ndoda kuti mukadzi wako nemwana wako musikana access a Twitter account kana Facebook account yakanzi Daddy. Hausi kuona kuti uri kutokanganisa family yako? Uri kunza madhimoni. Tozoona vana vorepwa. Utanga kuchema. Okay, it's irresponsible. So quickly, inina ku Nottingham and Discover. I'm not going to leave Nottingham police station. Nchakata zvangu at this time chasogara kunokuka. Nichatoti nishowa kutoti mitototsvaga ndiro maybe totongotsvaga imba. Nda kutongo relocate. Nda kutongo relocate mu Nottingham. Togaramo. Ah, ona munhu anonyora zita rangu inini. Munhu akauya pabasa pangu inini. Achitsvaga basa. Ndakamuvheta ndakaona kuti munhu uyu is an identity fraudster. Ndakaudzawo Jazira ndakati munhu uyu. Mukaramba muchingoita zvamaita izvozvo, vamwe vanhu vakaita mistake yekumuinterviewa pabasa rangu. After that, ndakavaendesa kucourt and ikoso right now ndichitori kucourt izvozvi so. Ndaudzwa kuti musambofa and ikoso right now you can see Al Jazeera yakabva yastopa. Vese vakabva vastopa vese na BBC na SABC, even SABC ekusouth Africa mati mambomuona in the last 3 months. Bvira paakatanga kuita zvana lungu zvezvo mati mambomuona vachimuinterviewa. Hamusi kuona kuti imbavha. Ona munhu akadaro anonyora kuti Nottingham police simba chikanza. Ndakati watoita basa rangu ra easy manje. Kuzokataura pa Nottingham ndo pandiri pachona ipapo. Just a short, very very short drive. Ndenda pinda 1 hour ndatopinda pa Notaza. So ndo kwandiri kwandotogara. It's gonna be a very very long week. Ndakuita basa rangu this time ndinyatsozvipedza because vana vakawanda, a lot of people have been influenced into crime, people have been spoiled, and a lot of people have been subjected to high level life threatening dangers. A lot of people are missing since 2018. Women were raped while their kids were watching, and the person was helping the regime under the guise of journalist. And he even confesses kuti ndaizviitira izvozvo kuitira kuti ndibatsire vana Mnangagwa. So that is what I'm doing, folks. Ndokwatiri. And thank you to those who are listening. I'm hoping that people are getting it. I can see 700 people watching here on video. Share it with people. Clip it if you can. And share it with other people. Let people know. Let people be armed with information. Don't allow anyone to influence your children, especially someone who is who is not who they say they are. There is no one on earth who's called Hopo Rugo Chingono. No one on earth at all. So I'm going to be shutting, folks. Thank you. I'm going to be catching up ASAP, and we will proceed. Cheers.
Are they real comrades? Or Mugabe's mercenaries? Smith's mercenaries? Who got the badge but never fought? Who cut the hands of the voters, huh? Response, not the comrades we know. Who stained the war vets badge, huh? Not the ones from the front row. Philip Chiongwa, rich and loud. Never saw him in the battle crowd. Where's Musenda? Where's the truth? Chopped out with the Gamma Tax you. Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage? Wearing fake badges just to earn that wage. We don't bow to the Philip type. We want the truth, not the propaganda. Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage? Wearing fake badges just to earn that wage. We don't bow to the Philip type. We want the truth, not the propaganda high. Comrade Emerson came from jail, studied law then joined the tail. Wasn't from Magagao's fight, he replaced those erased from sight. Are they real comrades or mercs in disguise with war vet badges and political lies? Tell the youth the truth tonight. Not every badge means you fought the fight. Are they real comrades or players of golf on stage?